Sonya Mishrawa. Ya batu edu banisu enye wugute. Sonya Mishrawa. He'll set you a table in front of your enemies. Sonya Mishrawa. Adinyina be diabwa wona awie wuye.
No school music. For the old school
God bless.
No one cares.
Tell 'em.
Who God bless? Who God bless?
No one cares.
Tell 'em.
Who God bless? Oh,
No one cares.
No one curse.
who God bless? Who God bless?
No one cares.
Washirami oh, Washirami,
We bless the next level.
Washirami oh.
So Sario is content-driven, subscription-based platform where fans can have a really close relationship with their favorite artists. So if you love Rexoma as much as I do, and he's on the Sario platform, you can just sign up, go on there, and see all the awesome stuff that he's up to. If he's cooking up some new album or a beautiful new song, you can just go on there and have an insight into the process, what it takes to bring out all those massive hits. Same for upcoming artists like Teshi Boy and so on. So this program was kindly brought to you by Electroland Ghana Limited. There's DSTV, there's GC Net, and many others that we are going to be talking about. Not forgetting NASCO. They provided all the screens. They are doing a wonderful job. Get a NASCO. So enough about that. Let's go to why we are all here, to meet the superstars. First, I'm going to bring on stage Teshi Boy. This guy is incredible. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Teshi Boy, yes. Teshi Boy came on the scene not too long ago and had this boss. Yeah, man. Nice to meet you. So you can have a seat. So he burst onto the scene not too long ago and rose up as a champion for the people of the coast of Accra, basically. His song, Jolly, I don't know if you've heard Jolly, is a banger. I'm sure he's going to share more himself later. Next, we need to give him a standing ovation. Rex Omar, he's a legend. He's the president of the Ghana Music Rights Organization. He's an incredible human being. Thank you for coming, man. So thank you for honoring our invitation, Mr. Omar and Teshi Boy, the boy from Teshi. So just one thing, are you from Teshi? Yes, and that hence the name Teshi Boy. You can't make this stuff up. So thank you for coming, and you'd like to say anything to open?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very honored to be here this evening or afternoon. This is something that we've been looking forward to.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
I know that there is so much experience that I have acquired over the years of practicing as a musician that needs to be told or needs to be given out. And then in so doing, I and my team decided to come out with a program called Rexperience that we will be doing every now and then and stream it live so that the young and up and coming and everybody that is interested will have to understand and know some of the things that must be known. So I'm happy to be here tonight. This evening.
All right. Thank you. You can keep the one. We'll share this.
Hello, everyone. I'm Teshi Boy, aka World Star, aka the Rebel Life Boss, aka Ashe Aye for Life Fam. That should tell you I'm from Teshi, right? Okay. I'm here with a legend right now. We're all here with a legend, and I've had a little discussion with him before now, and like, I'm more than enlightened right now. It's like I'm about to start doing music again, and all my mistakes that I was doing and all them stuff stopped, and I'm stepping onto a new level right now. So I think we're going to talk a lot and enjoy ourselves and learn more. Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, I'll like you to tell us a bit more of who Rex Omar is. You know, what inspires you, what motivates you, and what has kept you up till now. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Rex Omar is a very simple, down-to-earth person, but by grace of God, very talented as a musician and as an entrepreneur. I started my music journey some 35 years ago. Then I was 15, 16, thereabout. A young boy from Kumasi. I didn't even know, have any relative or any family member in Accra. But I was very ambitious. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Those days, it was much more difficult to stand out as a musician because then technology was not in place. So you have to go through the normal process in following maybe one band or two to acquire that experience. I did my bit, and then I think at age 17, by the grace of musician Erica Jiman, they agreed to rehearse my songs for us to go to studio to record. Those days I remember there was this studio in Kumasi called Ambassador Record Studio. So that's where I recorded my first album. It was gospel. Those days.
Oh, so you started with gospel.
I started with gospel, and I
Okay.
continue to do gospel because I've never done any album that doesn't have gospel song on it, including Abiba. So I started with gospel. My first 3 albums were gospel anyway.
Wow.
You know. So in terms of my education, or let me say, I am 75% Ashanti and then 25% Fanti.
The Rex Omar, most of us thought was a Nodna or was a Muslim. You know?
Yeah, and that is where the strategist comes in, you know.
Yeah.
The Rex Omar was coined out of Owusu Mafu. My full name is Rex Kwame Owusu Mafu.
Whoa.
So from day one, I wanted, I think it was intuitive. I wanted to separate Rex Kwame Owusu Mafu from the musician, Rex Omar.
Rex Omar.
Yeah. So I coined the Omar out of Owusu Mafu. So I got Rex Omar as the musician and Kwame Owusu Mafu as me.
Whoa. So one person living in two.
In 2 bodies, you know. My formal education is not that much. I just am a living from 4 certificate. But everything that I know up to today, I taught myself.
Wow.
You know. So I think at age 15, I had to travel to Nigeria. Oh, long story, you know, in pursuit of
The
music business, you know. By grace of God, I've been able to release a couple of hit songs or hit albums. I was the first Ghanaian artist to be issued a stamp. People don't know this.
Really?
You know, British High Commission released a stamp in my honor. You know, I opened doors. I mean, concerts for those days. Cool and the Gang. We did Ghana in the stadium. We did Ivory Coast in the stadium. I've toured around
Mega
the world,
shows.
you know. But I have always been quiet. Those days, I didn't know anything. There was no social media. So all the big concerts I did around the globe, I remember even my last tour, I did 25 countries.
Wow.
Most of
25
which,
countries.
25 countries. For 3 months, we jumped from playing in and out for more than 36 times. And those days, the only thing we had was MySpace. Facebook was there, but it was not open up for this kind of things that we are doing these days.
We'll be monitoring your page to see some of these pictures while you're on stage and see people.
Exactly, but those days we didn't have those opportunities. You know, the only thing that was there was MySpace, and it was so limited. You know, so I did a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I remember 2006, I did a concert in France that had 45,000 people.
45,000.
You know, and we were the only Ghanaian group, you know. I did South Africa Standard Joy of Jazz, playing with all the great American jazz musicians and stuff like that. But it was kept there, you know. If it was today, it would have been a different story altogether.
You've had a great life on music. I think it's good, and we should all give it up for the legend right now. You know, he's done a lot. And I think we'll go on to like you to describe how your music making process is like when you're in the studio. How is it like? Do you play around rhythms, or you write them, or you know your way? How do you do?
I think my way of music, I will. Sometimes when people say, "Oh, I sat there and I created the music," mine is different. The music comes to me.
Like
I
dreams?
I will explain to you. I don't remember sitting down, cracking my brain just to write a song. The songs come to me, and when they come, I just try to document them. For example, I will meditate, and then I sleep. And I'll see myself sitting in the big audience, listening to some wicked arrangements, some serious song. Then I like this song so much, and I want to see who is singing this song. I can't see his face, but there's the big band playing. And by the time I realized and I picked, it was me singing and sitting, watching.
Whoa.
When I wake up, I can never forget it. There isn't a single song that I've released or recorded that I can't remember. And it comes with the whole of the arrangements and everything. Sometimes I tweak the lyrics a bit, especially when the lyric is, say, inspirational or spiritual, and I want to tweak it to make it secular. I have to tweak it a bit. So that's what happens to me. So in most cases, when I'm going to studio, any producer or sound engineer who has worked with me will testify that I go there knowing exactly what I want. I know my bass lines, I know my chordal progression, I know exactly, and if I don't hear it the way I heard it, I will get it before it comes out.
Okay, so say you get everything right, prepared from home before you hit the studio.
I won't go to studio if I don't know exactly what I
you're
want.
going to do. And your process is a bit spiritual, you know.
Exactly. So you see, there are people who don't have it the way God gave it to me. Their story is different.
Yeah.
So for example, as I sit here, so many songs are playing within me.
Really?
I'm only the person who hears it.
Oh.
And it will keep playing until I go to studio to record it, bring it out, then it stops.
Okay.
You know.
Mine is a bit different because before you have to write, you have to get your lyrics right because you've booked studio time, you're upcoming, and you know you have to get everything right before you get there because you can't get there and be fumbling and be doing stuff. The engineer doesn't have much time for you. But now I don't write. Like I also go to the studio. There's maybe a beat there. I ask my engineer to play something, and right there, I start playing with vibes. Then I get so. Let's say in 3 hours, we'll have a song done. You know, and that has been the process for almost 3 years now. I don't remember the last time penning a word to do music. Yeah.
I think that in most cases, if you see me on stage, you would not believe that I am the same person sitting here with you.
Yeah.
The same thing happens when I'm in studio. I get possessed. I don't know if that is me, so me pay you no there. That's okay. because when I'm in my music elements,
Yeah,
I
element.
get possessed.
Yeah.
You know, so the things that flow, and it's like I have to get it. The
Does
way
it come natural?
It comes very, very natural.
Yeah.
It comes natural, but it's like I can know that this is Rex Uma.
Yeah.
You know, so I've related that moods for Rex Uma, the artist.
All right.
You know, so
I wish a lot of my colleagues right now and today artists and musicians can have this natural vibe, because a lot of people do things, you know, do tramadol and stuff, and that's a warning. Say no to tramadol, you know. Yeah.
yeah. So in terms of, I said something that I give that to Rex Uma.
Yeah.
Why did I say so? I sit here in front of you as Rex Ousumafo.
Yeah.
But the same person also plays a role of an artist called Rex Uma. There is a big difference between Rex Uma and Rex Ousumafo.
Sure. I would like us to break that down a bit. So basically, you see how the man here does the songs. I don't know, maybe from the others too, they go around and do other things. Some from life stories and all that. You know, people come up with music from experiences and stuff. I don't know if you found yourself in any position that actually inspired your music.
I think that anytime I'm in difficulty, I
Sure.
write better,
Okay.
because experiences embodies what comes out. You know, what you see around, the environment, what is happening around you, what's happening within you, all forms part of what ends up coming. You know, so I think that you cannot separate experiences from the
arts.
music. There's, yeah.
Okay. And one thing I would also like you to share with us is your career. The pause, because for some time now we've not heard of Uncle Rex. The pause and redefining high life campaign. You know, I want you to take us through what has really happened, and now, you know, the Rex Uma and the Rex Owusu for brand, how it has been like. Yeah.
Okay, so as I said, I don't know, I think it's by intuition. I separated Rex Oma, the musician, from Rex Owusumafo, because we call it show business. You can't just do only the show and leave the business. And Rex Oma is a brand that has been projected to the general public. Rex Owusumafo cannot live the life of the brand. Rex Owusumafo is somebody's father. Rex Owusumafo is somebody's husband. Rex Owusumafo is somebody's uncle. Rex Owusumafo is a private person. Rex Oma is a public figure. So every time I'm doing something Rex Oma, I must tell myself that this is Rex Oma. And anytime I'm doing something Rex Owusumafo, like you come to Ghamro, Rex Owusumafo is the chairman of Ghamro, not Rex Oma. Rex Oma is an artist.
Not Rex Uma the musician.
No. Rex Oma is just a musician. He's not a businessman. He's a musician. Rex Owusumafo ends up managing Rex Oma. Rex Oma is signed to a label that is owned by Rex Owusumafo. There are clear divisions. You will never go on the page of Rex Oma and hear anything Ghamro, because that is not Rex Oma's business. So when you know me, you come and call me, oh, Uncle Rex, I want you to come and do this concert. I am not Rex Oma. I will direct you to somebody to speak to Rex Oma.
Please, I want to ask something. So you want to say for the time that we've not heard of Rex Uma, that Rex Uma is somewhere, that brand is somewhere, and you are living a different life.
Yes.
Whatever you are doing now doesn't affect Rex Uma.
No, at all. I mean, some 12 years ago, Rex Owusumafo, who owns the label that has signed Rex Oma, decided that, okay, for now, Rex Oma has had enough in Ghana, so let us hold on with the label and keep Rex Oma somewhere. Rex Osumafo went into other businesses that has nothing to do with music.
An international level.
No. Rex Omar did some, you see, during Abiba time and all that, Rex Omar did a lot. I mean, we signed a contract with Sony, with EMI, traveling around, all that. But it got to a point, there was a necessity to put Rex Omar behind because there's something called overexposure. So if Rex Omar had continued, Rex Omar, by now the brand would have been dead and gone. So we kept Rex Omar brand quietly, whilst Rex Osumafo is doing other things behind the scenes. That kept Rex Omar relevant, quietly but relevant. Now Rex Omar, the musician, has bounced back. And why is it happening? Because he's not overexposed. And when Rex Omar was put behind the bars, Rex Osumafo is the person who writes for Rex Omar. So we gave Rex Osumafo the time to write serious songs, think about the new ways of doing business. The former ways of releasing CD and cassette are gone. So Rex Osumafo must get into the new ways of doing things to be able to push Rex Omar.
Okay. So that is to say, when it get to a point in the life of a brand, you have to know when you think you've seen enough and you have to take a break.
You see, every artist needs a manager. Every artist. The fact that we say every artist needs a manager does not mean that go and pick up an errant person and call him a manager. Your manager must understand the business so as to be able to manage you properly. If you happen to be somebody who understands the business aspect of your career, just like myself, then you divide yourself into two. So Rex Osumafo has a team for Rex Omar. Because Rex Osumafo understands the business, he was able to decide that enough of Rex Omar, put aside and hold on. But it's not everybody who may have this. So you need to have people who understand the game to help you do that. A lot of young artists are leaving their brand. And I'll tell you the effect it will have on you. For example, a new artist, you have released a single. Because it's show business, you've went to rented somebody, say, a Ferrari. A nice house, Ferrari, you shot a video. The public sees you in a Ferrari, in a beautiful house, even though somebody's Ferrari, somebody's house, somebody's investing in your video, the public think it is yours. The public see you that this guy is rich, oh, Charlie, you see, he released only one
And I
single.
want to come in with that. I've had an experience like that in my Medusa video. You know, I used a Wrangler. I don't know if you've seen it or any of us around here have seen it. And I was around town somewhere and some school kids saw me and were like, yo, Tashibo, and I go, Olole, 4 you know, Charlie, video, Asha. You understand? So,
So the general public don't know it. They don't know it's a show business. So as soon as they see you at that level, already you are rich. Pressure starts mount.
So that is the Wrangler I'm talking about.
Yeah. So of course you are rich.
Yeah.
So it will start from your immediate family. You have money, so you start to bring money.
Sure.
Then your own friends around you. Oh, Charlie, buy Charlie, you buy the money come, you know, they give me some. And pressure will start to mount. If you used to say, take trotro, because of this video, if you don't learn to live outside your brand, you will end up trying to live this style of life. So the small money you have, you end up going to rent a car because you don't want, now levels have changed, so you don't want
to keep
people
up.
to see. Exactly. And keeping up without being able to sustain it. The little monies that you were supposed to have saved, you will not save it,
But
you will use it to keep up.
sure.
And it's not sustainable. So when the money is finished and you are saddled with debt, in fact, I've had people who come to me with difficulties that has brought by some of these things.
Sure.
If you're an artist, you are not careful, you end up going into visa racketeering. You during when you made the hit, you had opportunity to travel once, and you want to keep up. So now people will come over, then you try to go and get visas for them. Tomorrow it doesn't work. You have a problem. People get into drugs. People get into all sort of things because they want to keep up.
Yeah.
You know, the only way out is don't leave your brand. Live separate from your brand so that you can live a normal life. It's only recently people get to know that I'm a married person, I have children, whatever. I kept my private business completely away from the general
From the
public.
brand.
You know.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. And further on, I'd like to know your take on technology, how it has affected high life and Ghana music for some time now. You know, yeah, because I know what we have now in your days were not available. You know, and now it's here. So I really want to know what you think about it.
It has pros and cons. In our days, for you to become a very big artist, you needed the big 5 labels. You're talking about Sony, BMG, EMI. So everybody's artist dream was to have a record deal. Globalization, technology has changed that. Now, iTunes is there for everybody. Spotify, all the digital platforms are there. So that gap has been bridged. Our days, for example, Ghana, we had only one TV station, GBC. One radio station, GBC. So if your music hits on GBC, the whole country is watching you. Now we have more than 40 TV stations. We have 504 radio stations. So you don't know who is listening to what. It makes marketing much more difficult. Our days, even when you are in studio, distributors are chasing you with front money. Oh, Rex, I want to give you so much money so that when you finish your work, I will distribute because he knows it's a hit. These days, you go to studio to record, spend money to do the video, put the music out without a fixation, so you don't know where the money is coming from. Unless you keep to build a brand. Now it's more of building a brand. So when the brand is built, then you can use it to do other things. But it takes time. It needs a strategic plan, a strategic marketing plan backed by finance. It must be long term, 5 years. So you know that, okay, I'm breaking this artist. This is my strategy. Year 1, I want it to get to this level. Year 2. So you sign, let's say, a 360 deal. Now, it's not like I've signed a record deal and you take the artist to studio, he records, and then you are struggling, and then he's going around to play shows. No, you sign everything about the artist so that you build a brand. And if a brand is built, you can use it. Music is only one revenue stream out of the brand. So if Teshi Boy is being built as a solid brand, music from Teshi Boy is only one revenue stream. Teshi Boy can be made to also act, another revenue stream. Teshi Boy way of life can be used to release clothing line. Teshi Boy can endorse other people's products.
So in effect, I want to know how technology has helped in that effect. You know,
technology has helped, but it has pros and cons. It has become much more difficult in terms of marketing. It has become much more capital intensive if you want to break an artist. It has become much more detailing in strategic planning and thinking if you want to break an artist. That's why some Nigerian artists will come and break in Ghana before they bounce back in Nigeria. It's all part of the planning.
Mm-hmm. But lately, I don't think much planning goes into that because people just throw themselves online, artists, and, you know.
That's what's happening with Ghanaian artists. A lot of them, they just record and put the music on social media for free. And yet they want to make money. There is a limit to marketing. I mean, if you release an album of, say, you are releasing an album of, say, 15 tracks. Look, one thing people don't know, a song that people don't like, even if you give it them for free, they don't like. It's not a matter of making the song free. There should be a planning, a thinking that if Teshi Boy is doing a specific type of music, if it is not unique, why should, let's say you have 10 different artists who are doing the same style you are doing. Why should people stop listening to those established ones and come and listen to you? So the only way is there should be something unique about you that will make people start to follow you. You know, so it all starts with originality from day one. What are you bringing to the table? What makes you different? What makes you tick? And if you have that material that is unique, then you are planning knowing that your competitors cannot catch you up because you have a unique brand. And then in this scenario, it is easier to make more money than our days. Because now, if a song is hit, typical example, you can even have a hit in default. Patapaa is typical example. I don't believe Patapaa was going to studio. Listen to him. He didn't go to studio thinking that he was going to make that hit that he made. But boom, it became a hit global. But because business has not been planned behind him, I'm not sure he'll make the money.
But in your time, viral people don't just blow up on that viral level.
No, because there's nothing called viral. The internet was not developed.
But technology made it possible.
Now technology has made it possible. That is the reason why now I can sit here and release my music, and the next minute I have a call from Italy. Wow, Rex, this is your song. Will be suitable for
Sure.
Italians have something that they call arena.
Yeah.
Now they play this kind of boxing, and it's like kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
And they call me, Rex, man, we listen to your song. Can you come and adore yourself at the arena?
Sure.
The song is released in Ghana.
But because
technology,
of, the internet.
you know.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Again, I would like us to talk about what are some of the challenges that you guys faced back then, you know, and you think because of technology, because of the introduction of technology, some of these things are being solved in a way, you know.
first and foremost, studios.
Were not common.
Studios were very, very, because see, when you go to the mainstream music industry, there's something they call budget sound and an industrial sound. The only way you can know that is when you go to the club. You can go to studio and record your tracks, and you are, oh, Charlie, this is my song, the sound they be. When you go to the club and they play a song that is recorded in Europe for a record company, and you put your sound, you see that you are way behind. We call it budget recordings. We didn't have those type of industrial studios where the XXLs and the studios, which the whole board is from here to here, and then, you know, we didn't have those studios in Ghana. So that was a major challenge. That is why at the point I spent over 25 to 30,000 pounds just to record, to get this kind of quality sound, because I wanted to compete. You know, these days, those studios that the board were from here to here has, because of digitalization.
Now, when you get your sound card and your Rocket 5 or 6, 7,
you are there.
You're going. You have a studio.
You have a studio,
Yeah.
and you can have a big sound
Yeah.
in a very small digital mixer that have 99 channels.
Sure.
That problem is being solved. Secondly, the type of videos. I remember those days, it's only GBC that was doing a video. And they'll put you here and draw a line, and you are standing there dancing and a green line, and they just film you, and that's it. That's a video for you.
Sure.
But these days, we are able to do quality videos to compete anywhere in the world.
Sure.
You know, technology. Thirdly, I remember my first time I got opportunity to perform outside. They requested so many things. Oh, they said, bring your press kit. Press kit meaning your photos, your previous performances, your newspaper clippings, so many things about you. Now, if you ask me to bring a press, whatever, go to my social media.
Sure.
Everything
is there.
You don't need to go and print anything. Those days, we used to print booklets, package it nice, and post it around the globe just to get a festival. These days, you just hit my Instagram or my Twitter or whatever. Every information is there.
Sure.
You know, those days, the picture quality, cameras were not good. Now you can get good pictures, and because it's digital, the quality is there. Everything is clean. You know, so technology has done a lot. But because of this, we need to be more professional
Sure.
about how we go about things.
Sure. I would like to add the production process where back then, high life musicians, I know when you need a full band, you need a studio that has a band set up before you can get a quality sound like that. But now with the help of our room set up studio, you can play your beats the digital way and bring in a live instrument, you know, player, to maybe a guitarist or a drummer or whatever, a flute, you know, to play it. And at the end of the day, you get a live feeling of what maybe back then you have to pay a lot of money to get a band to set up and record a song for you, you know.
There is a caveat there. There's a
Really?
big caveat there. You see, digital recording, when in relation to African music, you can do digital recording targeting club, targeting some of the artists who don't necessarily play live music. Most of the big concerts they do in Ghana, they do playback, okay? That's okay. But if you want to go out there,
Yeah.
where festivals are happening, trust me, with same technology, you can do a real live recording, far much more powerful and cleaner,
Sure.
playing every instrument.
Really?
Oh yes, if you listen to my current releases, everything is played live, all the horns, everything is played live. But when you hear it, you wouldn't believe it's live. But everything is played live. Digitization has helped.
The help
So-
of Reason and some other production softwares.
Exactly, because see, in that scenario, there must be. Why would a festival organizer in Europe bring an African artist? They want something unique,
New.
something African, something new,
Yeah.
something very authentic. So if the sound you're producing sounds like a miniature of what they are doing there, they don't need you. That is why most of our music is kept here. Hello? Because what we've been doing here, one is either because of cost or our ears are tuned to, and our target has always been Ghana. We just do things to suit Ghana. But if you want to go out there, which is the ultimate, that's the most important thing. Ghana is a small country, 28 million people. So if a Nigerian artist releases in Nigeria, they are 7 times more than we are. The Nigerian diaspora is more than the whole country called Ghana. So when Nigerian artist releases a song and makes a hit, he's got better opportunities than you Ghanaian artists. So what we need to do strategically is you use Ghana as a springboard, doing something good, something unique, targeting the global market. Typical example. How many times do you see Wiala performing here? She's all over. Kinai Soba is all over. Atongo is all over. Why? Because their music is unique and it's authentic. So they can play around. That is where you get your sustainable income. Not from releasing the singles that you throw in there and in the next 2 months is nowhere to be found.
Thank you very much. And again, I think we would like to know what you think about technology when it comes to some of the problems we are still facing in the music. How do you think they can help solve them in the next 5 to 10 years, you know?
Locally, one major problem that we have and we need to be solved is, you see, because music is gone digital, people who can have access to Visa cards and MasterCards can purchase their music on iTunes and whatever. But how many Ghanaians have access to these cards? So we need a technology that can bring music closer to the Ghanaian who is using even something that we call a YAM phone. We should be able to, because now they can go and buy CDs or cassette or whatever. That's why this new system of people sending their phones for people to download on laptops for them. It has become, that is, business must be done out of this. Because the music is nice, the general public want it. You've put in the music in the places that they can access. The guy doesn't have a MasterCard. He doesn't even have a bank account. He likes the music. All he has is his phone. So how do we get the music to the general public without going through these processes of having a card? So it's either, that's what I've suggested to Ghamro and the business people, that perhaps we will need to change a bad situation to a good one. These young people who are using laptops, downloading music for people, it is an opportunity for them to make money. So why do we arrest them? We should rather bring them, put them together, regularize them, brand them, so that we can use a software that if a new song comes, we give it to them, people go and download, you take some, you give some to the owner. I think that is a way to go. So that is something that we are working on seriously.
Sure. It has to work. At this moment, I like if anybody has any question they would like to ask myself or the man himself. You can just put up your hand and.
Questions?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel. I had a question about the last topic you were talking about youngsters downloading music for people who don't have access to download. What about streaming services? What are your experiences with streaming services? To both artists, I had that question with Spotify. And then the diaspora Ghanaians, do you see that they use and search for your music a lot?
Yes, Ghanaian diaspora, most of them have access to this Visa cards and credit cards, so it's easier for them to buy the music from the digital platforms. And then research has proven that streaming services are in the lead when it comes to music access. People stream much more than they download. Right now, it's clear that majority of Ghanaians are streaming from YouTube. That is if they like the music. Or some people put their music on SoundCloud, which is free streaming. So that's where people stream. Some people can stream through Spotify and stuff like that, but they have this thinking that, oh, they will take their money. And the new generation has created an erroneous impression into the mind of music user that now if you do the music and you don't put it out for free, this free thing is not good for the industry. It's better for somebody to get the music, stream it or download it and pay something a little to be able to help the artist to go back to studio. If that thing is not there, the most important thing is let's find a solution to it, and that is what I've suggested.
I want to add something small to it. You know, the streaming and stuff, we are doing it, but we are very slow to it. And we have some kind of perception about it, like Uncle Rex said. People think you are taking their money, and why can they get the song direct from someone's WhatsApping them or going to Circle to get it from these guys who, you know, do it and just getting their song on. Like, people find some sort of difficulty accessing the internet to stream music and stuff, so it makes it a little slow, but we are progressing. We are getting to, people are getting more knowledge about that, you know. Yeah.
Hello, good evening. So I have two questions. The first one has to do with royalties. Now, musicians in Ghana, as we know, are trying their best, right? We have some musicians who have won awards outside. We expect them to be rubbing shoulders with these big artists. But then they come back home and then it's the same thing. I want to know what is being done about royalties. What are the musicians doing? What's music are doing? What's the government doing? Now, my second question has to do with technology in music production. I have a hobby. I make little beats and all with Fruity Loops. Yeah. Now, I didn't study music, but I'm able to do something. I know it sounds good, but I know with me learning music, me understanding music, I will be able to make it better. What is being done? What is being done to educate these new producers, right? Because people just make beats. It sounds right, and then it hits back. Like the knowledge, yes, exactly. So what would you have to say about this?
Thank you very much. I will touch the royalty bit a bit. You see, there are too many wannabes in our system. When you want to become a medical doctor, the fact that you have the edge, you want to become a medical doctor, you don't begin by just picking up syringes and start to inject people. You have to go through some form of education to learn what it takes to become a medical doctor. But music is not like that. So many people get into music industry without knowing anything about the business aspect of it, without knowing anything about copyright. And because of this, a lot of people are losing their revenues, and they end up blaming people without themselves. Now, the way the copyright system and the royalty system works, we have over 200 to 300 organizations around the globe. We call them collective management organizations. When you write a song and the song is released in the public, first thing as an artist, look for one of these organizations to register with. One of them is Ghamro in Ghana. And Ghamro is linked with over 200 of such organizations around the globe. Because every country has an IP number. Every composer who exists must have his own IP number that is linked to which country he has registered with. Every song has an IP code. So for example, Rex Omar, the composer, has registered with 2 different organizations. Swizza in Switzerland for the rest of the world, and Ghamro for Africa. Swizza has an IP that is linked with Rex Omar's IP, that is linked with all Rex Omar songs. So whenever you play Rex Omar song anywhere in the world, it will direct you that these artists belong to this society. So that's where the money goes. If you play Rex Omar songs anywhere in Africa, it will tell you this artist belong to this organization. But then if you start recording, start releasing, dosing the hits out, you haven't done this, whose fault it is? Yours. The music will be played. Look, there is a big group, Nigerian group, who toured around the world, and in the end, all their royalties went down the drain because they were not registered with any collective management organization. It is a little bit legal. You have to go and register and assign your right to this organization, giving them the mandate to manage your copyright for you. If you haven't done that, you don't belong to them, they don't know you, they don't know your songs, so you are just not in existence. And that is what, there's so many young Ghanaian artists living in Ghana, recording, releasing, they don't even know where Ghamro office is. Yet these same artists will get up and complain that they are not getting royalties. So you may not know which of your songs will become a hit. One of your songs, if Patapa song was, I'll use the word, if there was business behind it, he would have received a lot of royalties. Ghana's collective management organization is not up to where it's supposed to be. Because we used to have COSGA, which was quasi-government. Government was managing it. And then we felt that is not right, so we fought, and then government changed the law. Now we have Ghana Music Rights Organization that is purely private, but it's regulated by Minister of Justice. So now it's private. If you call yourself an artist, especially when you write songs, as soon as you release your song, go and register with Ghamro, so that in the future, your royalties will come to you. And then the second question is...
Sir, please, I want to use this opportunity to let those watching and everybody who is connected with us to know what is the process with registering your song with Ghamro?
Registering your song with Ghamro is simple. First of all, if you want to deal with any organization, find where their office is. It's like going to put your money in a bank. Go and look for where the bank is so that you know that this is where I left my money. If you put any value on your music, one time when I speak, people think I put $1 million value on each song I write. Bob Marley, when he was alive, didn't make money on some of his music like today. Music, that's why we call it record, is transgenerational. I don't write songs for today. I write songs for tomorrow. Songs that will have meaning in the next 100 years to come. Because I own my copyright 70 years after my death. So if I write a song, I have to think of all these things. In the next 50 years, can this same song make meaning to the Ghanaians? And if it is yes, that is what you're writing. Okay? You record it very well, you document it, you put it at the right place, so that a song that you wrote today that you didn't make anything of it, it will surprise you what it can bring you tomorrow. I'll give you a typical example. Then I will answer your question. Dee da da dee 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 da dee dee da da dee da. This one song has done so much, continues to do so much, even much more than Abiba. One song, you know. So that is what I want you to know. Go to Ghamro. Either you are a composer or a publisher. Who is a composer? A composer is somebody who creates the song. You wrote the song with the melody. I'll keep you, people must understand. When you write something on paper, da na se, da unyami ase, it's just a letter. It's not a song. When somebody plays da 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 da, that is the melody. When you fix the letter you wrote into the melody, it becomes a song. Da na se, da na se, da unyame na se. Then it becomes a song. So when you go to studio and you are able to sing your song in a melodic form, even if you don't know anything about music and somebody programs it for you, he is a programmer. You are the owner of the song. But if you write a rap and you go to studio and you ask the engineer that give me a beat, and he creates the beat and the melody, and you rap your lyrics onto the beat, he owns the song, you own the lyrics. These are things that people don't understand. You went there with lyrics on paper. He created the beat and everything, and you rap your lyrics on his beat. So both of you own the song. You know, and all these things, when you come to Ghamro, they'll register you, and there is a law that divides it. Sometimes somebody will even write a song, he doesn't know how to arrange it. Somebody arrange it for you, and then he owns a share in the song. Either you pay him off or he owns a share in the song. All these things, you go to Ghamro, register with Ghamro, and the rest is a story, you know.
Thank you very much. Yo, and bro, on that, producers, it's very true. Most of our producers don't have any formal education on the skill. Like they learnt it on their own, you know. And Uncle Rex, I want to know, like how he asked, what has the government, what are some of the plans the government has for some of these people in the music industry? Are producers who just go on direct, they don't get any, they just follow their feeling, their skill, like they love for the art, then they just master into it. You know?
Let me tell you, around the globe, all real crack producers don't go to school. Music is a feeling, it's an in thing. When somebody has the edge, he wants to do it, he will learn it. Theoretical education is good. But there are so many people who have gone to school, they have masters in music, but they can't release hits. That's why Bob Marley said, them know it, but them can't do it. It's not about having the theoretical knowledge. It's about having the inner feel. When the inner feel is there, they will learn how to tweak the machines.
Are you a producer yourself?
Yes, I am a producer. So you see, the whole situation is, yes, it's good for us to have education. It's very important, just like music. I don't have music education, but I know I'm one of the best. Because I didn't go to formal school to learn music, I'm learning on my own all the time. Now, thank God, your generation, every information is on the internet. Go to YouTube, everything you want to learn is there. So it's a matter of you having the edge to know something. You will get to know. Yes, it is good that most of the producers you have in this country, previously it was difficult, but now some of the young producers are doing marvelously very well because the education is there on the internet. You can learn everything you want to learn.
So basically we should educate ourselves on the net.
Self-education is the best. Self-education.
Self-education is the best, Charlie. Okay, you wanna say something?
One last question.
Thank you. My name is Andrews. This is a question with respect to your life story. I know for a fact that successful people don't just drift to the top. It takes focused action, personal discipline, and lots of energy every day. So I would like to ask, can you share with us some of the things, some of the challenges you faced that, and how you overcame them, so that we can learn from it?
Thank you very much. There is one thing that I want every young person or everybody to know. Rexuma is not this body sitting in front of you. There is a divine spirit within this body, which is God living in this body, and I depend on him absolutely. Definitely there will be difficulties, but there's no difficulty above God. If you believe in him, meaning that you believe in yourself, the inner self, the true self of yours, which is beyond this body, it has all answers to all questions. And when you believe and rely on him absolutely, the rest is story. So in answering your question, yes, every journey, there is no successful person on planet Earth that hasn't faced difficulties. In fact, most successful persons are people who have faced much more difficulties. If you depend on your physical self, there isn't anything you can achieve. Trust me. But if you depend on your spiritual self, nothing is above you. Nothing. It's all a matter of time. You know, when you ask God for something and you believe it has been done, the rest is, you have to have the patience. I'll give you a simple example. There are two of us. We have decided to grow corn, okay? So today, we came here, it's a fertile land. He dug his hole, he put 3 tablets of corn and covered it up. Me too, I put 3 tablets of corn and I covered it up. Every morning, I go and water my corn. Every morning, he goes that and dig the corn, wanted to see, this corn, when will it start coming out? Then every morning he will go and dig and remove the corn to see whether it's coming or not. In 2 weeks, my corn will start to germinate. His corn will remain what it is. What does that mean? Doubt. Lack of patience. I planted the corn, I believed it would germinate. And because I believe, I had the patience to water it every morning. Because it didn't have the patience and doesn't believe, he goes every morning, pick it up to find out whether it's coming or not. It will never come. Doubt. So believe in yourself, believe in whatever you want to do, have the patience and the resilience. Forget about what anybody says. So long as you believe in it, have the patience. Sometimes your own family would even neglect you. Oh, you can't do anything. Who told you you can do this? God can do everything, and God lives in you. If you believe in that, you can succeed in everything you set out to do.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rex Omar. So, this has been very insightful, very exciting. I don't know about you, but I was very impressed with the dream part. That was simply amazing. I'm sure Jay-Z and those other people would wish that they could get their inspiration for music in that manner. So we'll have some word from some of the sponsors, just about 20 seconds each, because time has gone quite a bit. So sponsors, there's NASCO, there's GCNet, and when we are done with that, there'll be a brief presentation ceremony where the Mobex team will present a little something to the legendary Rex Omar and our superstar Teshi Boy. So, sponsors.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adiza Ibrahim, marketing supervisor, electrolyte.